Afternoon, everybody. Tony here. There's Ashland. I'm on probation, so he's my parole officer for this afternoon. I am working on the Dairies 270R. It is tier something 4 or whatever. It's a 2015, I believe. The year doesn't really matter for what I'm doing. I am working on the hydraulic outlet. We have a bad coupler, and got a new coupler here to put in, so I'm going to give you a quickie overview on how to change that. It's not terrible. How I change it anyhow. I'll probably get corrected by somebody, but that's okay. Done quite a few of them now, and it works out. But I don't know when they started using this coupler. I feel like the 8300 and 8310 were a different one. There's 8000 series people out there that might be able to correct me on that, but I believe they were different. However, our 7720 and all the 8s that we have are the same. The 6Rs are a different one. However, the new 6Rs are probably similar to these. I always appreciated these outlets over the 6s, and like our 7405s are the same as the 6R. 7420, I believe. It's just a little bit different coupler on them. These here, they have the lever to release the pressure when you unhook, so you can have pressure on the line and pop that, and it'll release the pressure so you can pull the hose out. The 6s are a little different. I think if you push in on the hose hard, it'll release. Just not quite as nice. I always like these better. Of course, there's probably people that don't like these. We all have our preference. So I'm going to start by removing these grody covers. I think there's 2 screws. There's actually, it looks like a total of 4, but I think the 2 with the covers can stay, if I remember correctly. We'll find out. We'll see what happens here when I remove the ones that I mentioned. Well, maybe I do gotta take them all off. Yep, I must be thinking of a different one. Maybe I'm just thinking all wrong altogether. There we go. Probably going to be best for me to clean that area up a little bit, so I'm going to do that here. The one thing I don't like about these, and I'll show it to you later, is the snap rings that retain the coupler. They are not your typical snap ring where you need a snap ring tool. It's several thin layer. I say several. It's almost like a keychain or a key ring, but it's thin and flat. Alrighty, I got it cleaned up. Now I'm going to remove the snap ring that's in there. Like I said, it's not, I mean, guys that get around this stuff more, maybe it is more common than what I feel it is. First of all, the tools I needed here, at least if I remember correctly, I got a small flathead screwdriver and a pick, one of those 2, and then I got a custom needle nose with a underbite or overbite, depending which way you hold it. You probably could use one that didn't have that had the both points the same length, but this is the one I'm using. It's the only one I have, actually. But so we're gonna get that thing out of there. I'll show you the snap ring then. I don't even know if it might be called a retaining ring. I don't know the correct term for some of these things. I just know how to take it out. And I know I don't like it as much as the normal snap ring that has the holes at either end. I'm not really sure what the purpose of having it this way is, other than it has closure the whole way around. There's not that gap that a normal snap ring, what I call a normal snap ring anyhow, has. Alright, I got it started. Probably want to be careful how rough you are with them as far as taking them out. But usually once I just kind of work my way around it. It's kind of like a key ring, like I said. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got at least 2 layers. It's probably not as many as 3. Okay, so here's where it stops, and then on the back side it stops here. So there's kind of a gap, but yet there's not a gap because the one ring, there's 1 layer there at least. I don't know if you can see that or not. So anyhow, I have that out. Whoop, almost dropped it. What I do next, again, this is how I do it. Maybe the pros have a different way of doing it, but I hit the lever to release it. That pops it out some. That didn't take it the whole way. I'm gonna grab my needle nose here with the underbite, overbite, whichever, and I might not be able to make these work because they have that. There we go. I got the oil pan down there to catch what I can, so that ends out. Not sure if you can see it in the camera, but whatever's going on with this coupler is internal. I think there are ways to rebuild them for what they cost. I start over and the time it would take. Maybe there's guys, maybe it's easier than I think, but there's a white ring here. I don't know if it's a nylon O-ring. It's harder than the black one. Has a little squish to it, but not as much as a black O-ring. Sometimes these go bad, and then they'll leak. I think they kind of leak behind the cover. I'm just trying to remember if the cover has a drain. I believe it does. So that's another way they can leak. And then a third way is internal here. There's 2 rings. And I think I saw on a post on Facebook, there's guys have, apparently you can get an MX or a Magnum, something from Case that has an O-ring that fits in there, and they say it does a little better. I don't know. These really aren't a huge problem. I've replaced a few over the years, but not a lot. So the old one's out, and I'm going to get the other one here. Got the new one. I'm gonna put that right in there. I'm not aware that there's any special way they should go as far as up or down. Now it's gonna seat in it. It's gonna go in against that white O-ring I showed you, and there's some resistance. I'm gonna go find me a a pusher. All right, just to clarify, I'd mentioned what I'm doing today. It appears like the coupler itself had something internal going on. I think you can rebuild them. However, I don't take the time to do that. The O-ring here that's around it right there, you can replace those. You don't need to replace the whole coupler. And same with the innards. I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. So now I got a custom outlet pusher. This one's 15/16 impact. I'm a little worried that I was in a hurry one time, and there we go. You want to seat that in there. You want to be able to get it in there enough that you can get your snap ring back in. I'm missing my 1/16 standard socket, like chrome. I'm a little worried that I maybe left that lay in the back of a tractor after doing this job. Could not find it. So yeah, you want to be careful doing this when what I just did there. You don't want to butcher up any part of the coupler, but you want to, ideally I would like to have contact with the outer ring on the barrel that I just put in there, but I was on the inner one there. Oh, now I'm gonna have to do it again because I wanted to that. My curiosity got the best of me. Ugh. Right there's the reason probably why I wish I had something a little bit closer to the right size as the outside. I know what I'm going to do to keep that from happening. Take 2, 3, whatever. I flipped the socket around. That didn't happen again now. Alright, this snap ring is a little bit like a keychain ring, like I said. I kind of have to, the way I do it is I get the leading edge started, and I oftentimes do not get it the first try. It's hard for me to explain how to do it other than start that leading edge in the groove, and I kind of turn it in there some, but I also work it in with the screwdriver as well. Combination of twisting, and there it popped out. Like I said, it's one of those deals that once I get it, I kind of know how I did it, but I don't do it enough to remember for the next time. It's a trial and error thing. One of the last times I did this, I had 3 or 4 different people watching me, so that didn't help either. We were chopping, and the pushing tractor had issues, a couple of issues. Feel like you turn it, oh, there she popped out again. Feel like you turn it in so far and then kind of spring it a certain way as well. Better keep my mouth shut because I don't have it yet. I'm going to get a heavier screwdriver to help push that in. Like I said, I start the leading edge, and then you almost kind of, once it's caught, you sort of turn the ring to, the best way to describe it is to collapse it, if you will, to make it a smaller circle, so then it fits in there better. But yeah, now I got it in there. They're kind of annoying. They are annoying compared to a normal snap ring. I don't understand why they went this direction, if it fits better with temperature change or what. If it's more a positive fit, maybe it's not as brittle of a material so it doesn't snap or break in there. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm not an expert in such things. We're ready to go back together. Which I use that lightly because it's only the cover. There's really not much ado. Two top ones, you put them like, I'm putting them on first because it'll hold it in place when I go to do the other ones. Probably shouldn't use an impact here, but do it lightly. That was that. It's not that tough of a project, but if you never did it before, maybe that'll save somebody some time. Like I said, I don't rebuild these couplers. I think they're 100. I'd have to look, 100 and something. I'll double check that because it wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. Where am I at here? So anyhow, what got me on to putting one of these in? There we go. $119 and change. So I don't know how difficult they would be to rebuild. There's a spring involved. It's small. I have fat fingers. I feel like, I don't know. I got a new one, so I know it should be good for a while. All the tractors we have with all the different outlets, why there's a lot of these couplers, if you would count them all. I have replaced some, but considering how many there are, how many different tractors, how old of tractors, like the 7720. I did some here this spring. First ones I did in that I remember. I'm not sure why. That tractor is the oldest, but sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes, I've heard in the past when you run something on continuous flow, like our merger, we have in continuous flow when we're merging for the float, well, for the functions to work, the hydraulic functions, and then it's also important for the hydraulic float or down pressure, be float in that situation. Grain drill, and then in this case the tank. So the steering in the tank, the other day I went to haul load out, went out in the road, went to come out of my turn and go straight, and it pushed me one way, and then when I thought it was straight, it pushed me the other way, and I thought, what is going on? So when I got back, I looked over the tank. As far as I know, everything's all right. And then I was like, you know what? I wonder if one of the couplers is bad. And sure enough, it was. So one way to, on a continuous flow like that, it's hard to see it, which one it is. So I put on I guess the easiest way for me anyhow is to put it on a single hose application where you would use pressure to like lift a rotary mower up, or the way I did it yesterday or whenever it was, I lifted the lift axle up, and it's a one hose deal. The pressure, you use the pressure to lift it up, put it in float to deactivate it. I tried the left side, it held, and then I tried the right side and it slowly drifted down, so I knew my coupler was bad.